what does trance mean to you? I suppose I've already said that with launching my own brand, Uplift. For me, trance has to be uplifting. It's something I feel it when I'm performing in a club with all the trance fans just going absolutely mental and creating that vibe, that moment that you only really get in trance. It's just a euphoric peak of emotion and blissfulness, and it can come from a melody or a vocal. And I know a lot of people shy away from calling it uplifting. They prefer to call it melodic and things like that. But for me, uplifting has to come from within, comes from the music, it touches you. So yeah, that's what uplifting, well, that's what trance means to me. The world is about to end and you're organising the last ever party. Which DJs would you book to play? So I suppose if I was going to create an event that would epitomise what I think trance is, I would have to have a Paul van Dyk set, probably from around 1998 to 2001, getting in play all those amazing tracks that he was, producing and spinning back then. I think I would have to have some of the people that got me into trance playing, so I would probably ask for a Dave Pearce versus Judge Jules Radio 1 set. Those two guys were instrumental in introducing me to trance and shaping the artist that I've become today. So definitely them. And the last one, because everyone would have to play extended sets, there's far too much good music, would be Raz Nitson. And Raz won't thank me for mentioning this, but I'm sure if the world was about to end and I asked him to play a DJ set, hopefully he'd agree, even though he's totally against doing it. He prefers to be in the studio writing and producing these great vocal hits that he puts out. But yeah, I would have to have Raz to play a set of all his favourite tracks that he's produced over the years. What is your greatest fear? I suppose it would have to be something around losing my hearing. Being a musician, being creative, is something that I rely on heavily. And I actually hate anyone going near my ears. So when I was having my earplugs for, reduction of sound in the clubs and stuff measured and impressions taken for them to be made up, I absolutely hated it. So what is your earliest memory? I suppose it was when I was younger at Christmas. My parents bought me a bike. And obviously back then in those days, that's what we got for Christmas. We always used to be out on our new bikes on Christmas morning, whether it was snowing, raining, lovely day, whatever. But this particular day, I was very young. I can't remember how old I was. My sister loves to remind me of this one. And basically, I was in the living room, the dining room was in the front room, we were in the back room, and opened all my presents, and my parents said, go into the dining room and see if there's anything else that Santa's left for you. And off I toddle into that room and come back, and I'm adamant that there's nothing in there. So again, they kindly remind me to go and have a proper look around and see what I can see. And this kind of probably went on for 10-15 minutes. And literally after maybe 5 or 6 turns of me looking around the dining room for this present that Santa may have left, my parents had to come into me and point out that there was a fucking huge bike there wrapped up waiting for me to open that I literally just couldn't see. So nothing's really changed really, but yeah, that's my earliest memory. Have you ever said I love you and not meant it? A funny question actually, because obviously we've all said I love you to various people throughout our lives. And unfortunately, not many of us still have a lot of those people in our lives through breakups or splitting up or, moving on or changing. We all have failed relationships. So I suppose at some point I may have said I love you and didn't mean it. But I try not to. I try and be as honest with myself and my feelings as possible. And a bit of a wishy-washy answer that. So a good cop out. What is your guiltiest pleasure? I love pop music. I listen to pop music in the car. I listen to all sorts of music, to be honest, but I like popular music. Whether that's no artist in particular, just songs that resonate with me, inspire me, and I probably bring some of that to my productions as well. I try and steer clear of the norm in the trance scene and do my own thing. So yeah, probably pop music, and probably food, as you can probably see. If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change? I think for me, it's how people, especially in modern day society, speak to each other, and especially with the growth of the internet and Facebook and things like that, it's easy for people to say hurtful things to each other. What is the most important lesson life has taught you? I think going back to what I've just said, don't judge a book by its cover. People have lots of things going on that you have no idea about. They may put on a brave face, and you may never know that they're struggling, but you just don't know what's going on in someone's personal life unless you are really, really close to them. So yeah, I think we just need to be nicer to other people, and there's usually a reason behind everything, so bear that in mind. In a film about your life, who would play you? Wow, I'd love to say someone like Brad Pitt or someone really masculine like The Rock, but obviously with this physique, it's not really going to happen. My sister would probably say James Corden. She absolutely loves him, and I do quite like James Corden. So yeah, let's say James Corden. That would be a really interesting person to play out my life, and I'd love to see him DJing. That'd be hilarious. You're only allowed one alcoholic drink for the rest of your life. What do you choose? So I don't really drink now, through kind of everything that my body's been put through in the years of sport and growing up and stuff. I developed a bit of a liver problem. Nothing serious, just I have to really look after my liver, and obviously drink isn't good for your liver. So yeah, it wouldn't bother me, to be honest. You'll probably see me with a Coke Zero when I'm DJing, and that's probably my drink of choice. Just something that's still not good for me, but isn't as bad as everything else that's nice. If you were an animal, what would you be? I'm a big dog lover, so I'd have to say a dog. And if you'd ask me which dog breed I would be, I mean, we've got two Dachshunds, two sausage dogs, so I suppose not really long enough to be a sausage dog. I'm quite a short lad, so I'd probably say I'm a bit more like a corgi, so let's say a corgi dog. Which track from your back catalogue best defines you and your sound? I'd probably say, if we're talking back catalogue a few years ago, it'd be my remix of Stole the Sun. As I said, I'm a big kind of pop fan, and I really, really like the kind of Clubland era and those sort of tracks. And Stole the Sun kind of was an amalgamation between pure uplifting trance and that throwback to that kind of Clubland Eurodance kind of sound with the melody and the bass line. So yeah, that would be definitely my older kind of sound. And newer sound, maybe I'd have to say Adagio for Strings 2021. That's a sound that it's a bit tougher, more energy, definitely a sound that I'm really digging at the moment. So yeah, that would be my old sound and my new sound. When did you last cry and why? It'd have to be recently, actually. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you probably know that I do some charity work for a charity that helps recover lost pets to their owners, pets that have kind of got out of the houses, running around the streets. We go and try and contain them, scan them, and try and reunite them with their owner. Unfortunately, one of the dogs that I went to, that didn't quite happen, so I ended up fostering the dog for just short of a week. It was a little dachshund, and that dachshund eventually went into proper foster care. But her time that she was with us, we grew very, very attached to her. And the day that she left, yeah, there were definitely tears. She's gone to an amazing life now. She's going to be loved and cared as much as she deserves, and probably so much more. But yeah, it was a difficult moment to say bye. What's your favourite country to travel in? I suppose anywhere where I don't have to fly, or anywhere that I don't have to fly more than about 3 hours. Not a good flyer. Struggle with kind of the altitude changes and headaches and things like that. So probably the UK, because I don't have to fly, and maybe Wales and Scotland if it's a long drive. Top 3 trance tracks of all time. I suppose I've just remixed, reinvigorated, whatever you want to call it, reworked Adagio for strings. Between the Ferry Corsten remix and the Tiesto remix, those two are definitely number 1 and 2, 2 and 1, whichever way round you want to put it. Those two play a huge part in the sound and on what I try and do. And the third one would have to be probably something by Dash Berlin and Emma Hewitt. Something from them. Just absolutely love that combination. What is the one thing coming up in your schedule that you're most excited about? So I mean, at the moment it's a really exciting time. I've just said we've just released Adagio for Strings 2021. I think it's been now number 1 on Beatport for 18 days, which is absolutely unreal. I'm so lucky to be able to release my interpretation. Obviously I've just said, you know, the Tiesto remix and the Ferry Corsten remix played a huge part in my, you know, in my journey in trance. And I'm just lucky that Raz was able to do whatever he needed to do behind the scenes to be able to release that. So yeah, really excited about that. And the new projects that we've got coming up together. There's going to be lots more things like that, lots of covers, reinventing, or I suppose reinterpreting tracks that maybe aren't on Spotify and things like that you know, the younger trance fans won't even know. So yeah, really excited about the future and doing some exciting stuff with us. A final message for the dedicated trance fans on Tranceportal. Well, thank you so much for all your support. Obviously I've been in this game a long time as Alan and Envy and going solo, but you've always been there, my core fans that are always commenting on my stuff on Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud and everywhere else. You guys mean the absolute world to me, and I really can't wait to get back to seeing you all once all this pandemic stuff ends. So yeah, hang in there. I would definitely be coming to see you. We're working so hard on trying to get back into countries where, you know, hopefully vaccines will be rolled out and events will be starting soon. So I hope to be seeing you all very soon. Take care.